Hey, what's up, guys? It's Limbo here. I hope you guys have been doing well, and I'm gonna go off on a rant here about Warzone and the fact that it is one of the worst esport games that I've ever seen in my entire life. And World Series of Warzone is literally full-blown proof that Warzone is not a good esport or competitive game at all. Okay, for those who do not see what happened a couple days ago, World Series of Warzone lower round 2 was a complete mess. As you guys see with this tweet from Itapa, who is a hacker hunter for Call of Duty and is a super big Warzone player, he said this: World Series of Warzone round 2 is a mess right now. They've had to restart 3 times already. Game 1 froze halfway through, and now everything's on hold while they investigate the issue. Players are on standby, massive technical problems. And these issues didn't last for 1 game or 2 games. No, they lasted for a whole 2.5 hours. The entire World Series of Warzone round 2 didn't get played out for 2.5 hours because the game itself, Warzone itself, is so dog shit. And I'm just very mad about this because the real issue was surprisingly spectating. Itapa tweeted out this again, quote retweeting that original tweet, saying, "It seems spectators were causing the issues. Players whose team is fully eliminated are now asked to back out of the game." I mean, that's just very, very sad to hear. The fact that most people that are hyped for World Series of Warzone had to wait over 2.5 hours for a very simple issue like that. That is insane to me. And I think this goes to show, this whole entire debacle goes to show how bad of a game Warzone is fundamentally, from the coding to the actual esports itself, and how even when Call of Duty does run one single $1 million tournament, right? Because they're not like Fortnite in other games where they run a competitive tournament every single week or every other couple of weeks for cash prizes or anything like that. When they finally decide to actually do World Series of Warzone, a $1 million tournament, right? The very first and only one that they will have during Black Ops 6's life cycle. This is what the players, the viewers get. And it's absolutely ridiculous that players had to wait 2.5 hours to actually play the first game all the way through, okay? And then secondly, the fact that viewers had to wait 2.5 hours waiting for the first game to actually be played and be completed is ridiculous. How in the hell does Warzone or Activision or Microsoft expect Warzone to be taken as a serious esport and competitive game when they can't even run their own tournament by themselves? And I think it's only going to get worse when Esports World Cup. I feel like Warzone is going to shit the bed, man, and it's going to be bad. And I'm pretty sure that's another $1 million tournament as well. And I think it's on LAN. Even if there is an issue, it's going to be a hard time to fix. But I cannot believe Call of Duty wants us to support and actually watch Warzone pros play the game when even they cannot even play the game, dude. Like, the game is so badly coded, it's so badly managed, and so badly, literally a spectating glitch and bug can offload one single game for 2.5 hours in the entire event as well. I think it's absolutely sad to see that Call of Duty tries to put so much time and resources and money into Warzone just for it to be a dog shit esport and not be taken seriously at all from the esports and competitive community. Like, how do you not even run tournaments weekly for cash prizes for the community? And then when you try to do a $1 million tournament, this is the stuff that they get. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. How do you guys expect us players, us viewers, to actually be happy and be hyped and talk about this event when you can't even get the first game to start for a full 2.5 hours? And for the people who are saying, oh, you're overreacting, no, I'm not overreacting. When Call of Duty actually does something when it comes to esports, I want it to be taken seriously, because I know even though Call of Duty is not that very hard of a game, there are still a lot of people that are skilled at the game that could make this their living. Because I truly believe that gaming and esports and all that stuff is a sport. The fact that we've had NBA players like Shaquille O'Neal and other sports players talk about how competitive and how professional esports are and how they consider them athletes as well, I think it's unfair that esports players and competitive players have to get a shit product and shit service from Call of Duty and Activision and Microsoft. The fact that Warzone couldn't handle people spectating is ridiculous. And secondly, the Warzone devs that had to figure out what the actual bug is, and it only was a spectating glitch, and it took them 2.5 hours to figure that out, that is complete and utter bullshit. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just very upset about this because I want Call of Duty to do good. I want it to be seen as a good game, but it has been very hard throughout Black Ops 6's life cycle. And now on top of that, when it's actually time for World Series of Warzone, it's complete and utter dog shit. If I'm being honest, I think trying to become a pro in Warzone is one of the worst things that you can do if you're trying to become a professional gamer, because for one, there is no love or passion for the esport and competitive game at all, right? We have no integrity from any of the players. We've seen for Esports World Cup qualifiers and World Series of Warzone qualifiers that there's been hackers everywhere. The anti-cheat is still ass for Warzone, by the way. for these competitive tournaments, okay? This is why we've had people getting exposed for hacking and cheating this entire time for qualifiers and for the actual event. And if you're trying to become a Warzone pro and trying to make it your living, there is no daily tournament at all. Literally once a year, there's a $1 million tournament where you're competing against everybody from across the world. And if you look at Fortnite, they have daily cash cups still, right? Where they're giving out a couple $1,000s for people that play in their tournament and actually win. And Warzone does none of that. You have to go through private lobbies and other third-party websites just to play in a random tournament that could have cheaters or hackers. It's just all in all such a sad situation for anybody that wants to take Warzone seriously and or be a fan of Warzone competitive and the esport as well, because we all want to see Warzone be good and be great, because it was good and great during Warzone 1. Apparently, I wasn't really there for it, right? It was one of the most popular things because of quarantine. But now in the big year of 2025, where nobody's really locked down into their room anymore and anybody can do everything and anything, Warzone has had a steady decline of player count, actual quality, and love for the game from the devs. And even the players are losing their integrity to actually keep it real. And they're cheating and hacking their way through tournaments, and it's just ridiculous. But I think the worst part about this entire situation is the fact that this is just going to show more and more people that actually want to get into Warzone that this is not the esport for them, and that it's not a competitive game at all. The players themselves have no integrity because they cheat and they hack. And on top of that, Activision and Warzone devs do not have the passion and or love to actually make this better. From a viewing experience, from a gameplay experience, from an optimization experience, literally everything, man. Nobody truly loves Warzone anymore because nobody cares about Warzone anymore. And I think one of the biggest factors is because Warzone trying to be an esport and a very competitive game is not working out at all. And when Call of Duty actually tries to run a big tournament, a $1 million tournament in World Series of Warzone, it completely shits the bed every single time. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.